Alright, so we're going to talk about the components of good audio. So you have here a standard consumer camcorder, nothing particularly special, except that it has a mic input jack and a headphone output jack, so that you can get good sound and you can monitor to make sure you're getting good sound. So, one thing you might want to use is this little mini mixer by a company called Beach-Tech, which gives you 2 channels of audio and volume controls to control that audio. And it just attaches to the bottom of the camera. And you could then attach that to the tripod here. And its output goes into the mic jack on the camera. So I got that, and you want to make sure it's not interfering with the lens so that you're not filming that nice curly wire. So, let's say that I'm filming a room full of people, all of whom are talking. I do not want to use the camera's built-in mic because, frankly, the built-in mics on cameras do not give you good sound on a consumer camcorder. So, this is a Rode video mic, which is designed to work with a consumer camcorder, and it gives you some quite directional sound. Whereas the built-in mic in the camera is going to give you a very wide cone of sound, so you'll get all the background noise and everything that's going on in the room. This one is going to give you a fairly narrow cone, so that you will get whatever is directly in front of the camera and just a little bit of what's off to the sides. So this can be very useful when you need to film 1 or 2 speakers, if you're walking around with the camera in a room or at a party or something, and you just want to get what's directly in front of you. So if you were using this with the mixer, you plug it into the auxiliary jack in the back there, and this takes over the right channel on the mixer. Another option would be to use, say, a wireless lapel mic. This one happens to be by Sennheiser. So I've got a transmitter that goes with a microphone and the receiver, and I can attach that to my Beach-Tech mixer by plugging in that XLR video jack and audio jack in the front. And I might just hang that off of here, like that. Now this is getting pretty heavy, but this would normally be on a tripod. I would not usually be carrying it around like this. So now I've got 2 channels of sound. I've got the wireless mic going into the left channel, and I've got the shotgun mic going into the right channel, and I can adjust these independently. Another important piece of audio equipment is a headset to monitor the sound you're getting, and that goes into the headphone jack here. You want to make sure those are in nice and tight, and you want to make sure that you're getting the correct headphone in the correct ear so that you're monitoring your left and right channels correctly. Now this is not an ideal headset to use for this because it doesn't block out the actual room sound, but it's certainly better than nothing, and it's handy because you can stick it in your pocket and walk around with it and not be carrying a huge headset in addition to all the other equipment you're using. So that's pretty much all you need to get really good sound into a standard consumer camcorder. Another nice thing about this Beach-Tech mixer is that because it uses standard audio XLR cables and jacks, you could actually take an audio feed off of a professional soundboard, say you were at a conference, and you could take a great big XLR cable all the way across the room and go straight into here, and that is the best possible sound that you could be getting. Another option would be if you are in a situation where you can't run a cable across the room, you could use your wireless receiver here, take your transmitter, and instead of attaching it to a mic, attach this to the soundboard. So say you've got a soundboard that's 50 feet away across the room, you take another one of these cables, run it from the soundboard into the transmitter's going to receiver, receiver's going to camera. Again, you're going to get very good sound this way. Okay, there's some settings you want to look at when you first start to use your camera, and you get to them by pressing the function button down here. You You can see my terrible fingernail polish. And go down to menu. You need to decide whether you are going to record in high definition or standard definition. So you go over to this menu and select. You could also choose, so high definition is here. There's DV, which is standard digital video, which you can either do wide 16:9 or normal. You switch to HD or DVD or DV. One thing to keep in mind if you're filming in HD is that when you want to work with this on hard disk, it's going to take about 35 gigabyte per hour of hard disk storage. Another thing you want to set is make sure that this setting here is set to phones, so that when you put in those headphones to monitor your sound, you are actually getting sound and not a horrible, nasty buzzing noise. And then you might also want to go here and set the volume of your headphone output to make sure that you can hear properly what's going on. You also want to make sure that your audio level is on. And that way you see the audio meter here when you're recording or when you're monitoring sound.